Good morning, girls.
Good morning.
Thank you.
Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning, girls.
Good morning.
Good morning, Jack. Okay. Okay, girls. So far, any questions?
No.
No? Okay. Jack says she doesn't have any questions. Anybody have any questions?
No.
No. Danielle doesn't have a question. Okay, girls, then I guess we can just continue. Okay, girls, so we said that okay, this here, yes, okay, was our transducer. This was the matching layer. We said that we have the PCT crystals, active element. Okay. And what we mean is, okay, I left all of it to talk about is going to be what will be the backing material. So before we go talk about the backing material, it's okay, we can say it's okay that the backing material can also be known as the damping material. Okay, and what the backing material or is okay, the damping material. Now, first of all, it's okay. Because it's okay that this is only found in imaging transducers. Okay, so it's only going to be as okay imaging transducers that have backing material. What would be an imaging transducer? That would mean it's okay be a transducer that okay is produce an image. And we already okay in chapter 4 said that there will be as okay what we call a pulsed wave transducer. Yeah, which mainly as okay means that non-imaging transducers okay, non-imaging transducers, which we also as okay refer to as they could be as okay used as therapeutic transducers. Okay, we also said okay as these will mainly as okay be what we could call continuous wave transducers. Okay. Okay, they could be as okay continuous wave transducers, which mainly as okay will be used for as okay. We can say it's okay continuous wave Doppler. Okay. And that's going to be something that we talk more about in chapter 19, but you can actually see this further here on page 313 in the book. Don't go there yet. Okay. Okay. So that's okay. Okay. What about these non-imaging transducer, which could be as okay a therapeutic transducer, or as okay they could be continuous wave transducer, or as okay even as okay what we call as okay continuous wave Doppler transducers are going to as okay will not have backing material. Or what we as okay more correctly can as okay call it damping material. Clear? Okay. Now the reason that I as okay would like to just okay use the word damping material when talking about the backing material in the beginning is mainly as okay because the word damping here actually is okay gives us a clue of what is it that okay as the backing material functionally does. Okay, now just look at it in this vehicles. Now what we said was okay as we can look at okay as the transducers which doesn't have backing material or damping material. What did we call them? They were continuous wave transducers. Right? Right, girls? What would that mean? That would mainly mean that, okay, yes, the crystals or the PCTs actually as okay would be in a continuous vibration. And as a result of that continuous vibration of your PCT, it would continuously be producing sound waves, right? Okay, so that was means okay, there's going to be a sound wave that was, we can say it's okay non-stop, which means okay, we'll call a continuous wave. Okay, continuous wave. Did that make sense? That was if it didn't have a backing material. Did you girls get that? Did you girls get that?
Yes.
Now, if we say yes, okay, backing material, you can mean it says okay, damping material. Now, does anybody know what the word damping means? Not dumping. Yes, girls. Anybody knows what the word damping means?
Is it like when you wet something, make it like moist?
Okay, yeah. When is it that you usually is okay would damp something? Okay, okay, so moist. Cool down. Okay, that's how I look at it. So yes, okay, if you have a material that's going to be as okay, a damping material, which is mean it's okay, going to, because that's okay. Cool down the vibrating PCTs. Right, okay, because yes, okay, it was. Because it's okay, with all the damping materials, okay, we will have a continuous wave. But pretty much, okay, as a result of the damping material or backing material, some of these circles here mainly is okay. What the damping material actually is going to do is okay, is going to okay, absorb most of this sound energy here. And that mainly is okay, cause it okay, as what are we left with? A pulse. Is that clear? I mean, it's okay because it produces a pulse like this, because it's okay, all these sound waves here is okay, were absorbed or damped by the backing material. That's how it's okay. Transducer with backing material, then will be as okay, just producing a short burst of cycles, which we call a pulse. Which means okay, they're going to be followed by okay, as an off period, off time, followed by as okay, another pulse. Okay, whereas okay, had it not been for the damping material, then all this area here as well also would have had sound waves. And we come in and said, okay, it would have been a continuous wave. Did you girls get that? Okay. So you just okay, what is that you do when you just okay apply? You can say it's okay, cold compressors. That is damping. Clear? Right. That is okay as an example of damping. What does it do? It absorbs most of the heat produced from your that's okay, either inflamed or injured area. And mean is okay, cool it down. Did that make sense? But here is okay, what the backing material or damping material is going to do is cool down, yes, okay, a lot of the vibrations, which mainly causes okay, yes, what we mean is okay, our left from is okay, and okay, as it take off, okay, let's see, it take off a lot of the cycles here, and main is okay, just leave us with this, which means it's okay, just going to be the pulse. Did that make any sense at all?
It makes sense.
So we can mainly say that's okay, because of the backing material, that's just okay. That's where it means it's okay, differentiates a continuous wave transducer from a pulsed wave transducer. Clear? Okay. That's okay. Whatever sound was actually is okay, or whatever form of energy in whatever frequency or number of cycles, that's okay, would come. Most of it is going to, it's okay, being absorbed by the backing material, and whatever is left is going to be, it's okay, your pulse. And that's why you have, okay, as a pulse wave transducer from a transducer which has what we call the damping material, or also known as the backing material. Okay. Now, another thing, and okay, as I briefly mentioned that yesterday, was that we mainly could say is okay, that the impedances of your backing material and sorry, let's just go on. Yeah, okay, yes, the impedances of your PCT or crystal or active elements, as we may end up calling them later on as well, and the backing material. Okay, both of these here had equal impedances. Where we mainly said, okay, the impedance of, okay, yes, your PCT or crystals or active elements, that was, okay, yes, 20 times that of skin. Okay, so we can mainly say, okay, the same impedance as, okay, will apply to, yes, okay, to your backing material. Okay. There, okay, as you then went further, we said, okay, as the matching layer, that will have, okay, as a lower impedance than was the gel. Okay, which does, okay, as have a even lower impedance than the matching layer, which is less than that of the PCC, which is less than that of the backing material. And okay, ultimately, as okay, would be the, yes, okay, the skin. Okay. Okay. But as far as, okay, as the impedances of your matching layer, no, sorry, backing materials, sorry, and the PCT, they both have the same impedances. Is that clear? Is that clear?
Yes.
Now, ladies, one last thing is we can mainly say, okay, the thickness of the backing material. Okay. And I described as okay what we mean by thickness yesterday. So okay, mainly as okay, if this is okay as a side view of your transducer. Clear where you can mainly say it's okay. Then this dimension here. From the front to the back. That would be the thickness. Now that says okay, just going to be as okay, just like your matching layer is going to be equal to 1/4 of the wavelength. Right, okay. Where we mainly say it's okay. If we had a wave, then this distance here, that was going to be the wavelength. Whatever that was. Clear? Okay, now we already know that, okay, this wavelength here, and that's going to just, okay, get handy later on today, that this wavelength here actually is going to be, okay, directly proportional to the period. And, okay, yes, it's going to just, okay, be inversely proportional to your frequency. But what we mainly can say that, okay, yes, if the wavelength for this wave here, we can just take any random number was, let's say that we have a wavelength of 1 millimeter. Now 1/4 of this actually is going to be the thickness of your PCT, where you mainly can say, okay, that the PCT was going to be as okay, 1/4 of a millimeter thick. Okay, because half of this is going to be, I guess it's okay if you divide the wavelength in 2 halves, then each of these is going to be 1/2 millimeter. And half of that is, half of that's going to be, that's okay, then each half of the half is going to be 1/4. So that's how big your wavelength would be, 1/4 of a millimeter, if the wavelength was 1 millimeter. Clear? Okay. Did that make sense? Okay. So yes, okay, pretty much okay. But in all of this is okay, what is actually going to be the component in the transducer that determines how long or how short a wavelength is going to be? As a matter of fact, that's okay. How long is it that the period is going to be? That is mainly, that's okay, going to be determined by the PCT. Okay, that will mainly, as okay, be determined by the PCT. Did you ladies get that? And just keep in mind, girls, it is only going to be as okay imaging transducers, or what we call pulsed wave transducers, that we have the backing material, also known as damping material, which mainly call it, okay, yes, any sound wave, or sorry, any wave of any form of energy, because it is going to be as okay in the PCT that, okay, yes, this form of energy here is going to, yes, okay, be converted from in our case, yes, okay, electrical energy into sound. Clear? Okay. But that's okay. Even this electrical energy here is going to, okay, come in a continuous wave. So when it actually causes, yes, okay, pass on as just a pulse, is because a lot of the energy that came to the PCT is going to just, okay, get absorbed by the backing material. Okay, or we can mean says, okay, a lot of, okay, the energy produced by, yes, okay, the vibrating pieces of your PCT or crystals is going to, okay, be absorbed by the backing material, and it's only going to be, okay, a small portion of the waves that actually, okay, arrive to the PCT that is going to, okay, travel ahead, and we end up with a pulse. Did you ladies get that? Okay. Now goes. This what the, yes, okay, we can say that was the main effect of the backing material in a transducer. Okay, that actually is, okay, was going to help us to, is, okay, go from, okay, as continuous wave to pulsed wave. Did you girls get that? Did you girls get that?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Shaq, Alicia, Marian, and Tiffany, and Astrid. Turn on your cameras, girls. Now we can also say it's okay that besides that, there's going to be as, okay, 3 other. Now your book says consequences. Consequences maybe as, okay, a little bit too harsh of a word to use. Right, okay. Because that maybe goes, okay, as G-John, last moment, so. Okay, so that's okay. If you want, that's okay. Change the word of consequence. You can say it's okay. Effects of, okay, as the backing material. Okay. Because consequences mean it's okay. It looks like more, okay, as a form of punishment. Okay, time out or something like that. Okay. So that's okay. Besides, that's okay. Actually, it's okay calling that, okay, as the sound wave is not going to be as, okay, continuous, but actually it could go from continuous to become pulsed. That, okay, as one of the major reasons why it's okay at backing, or it's okay, transducers had a backing material or not. Okay. Yep. But 3 other effects that we actually is, okay, get from adding a backing material to a transducer is Now, one is going to be as okay, what we will call as okay a decreased sensitivity. Okay, decreased sensitivity. And what we mainly is okay when we talk about this, okay, or what mainly can be said is that this is actually going to be as okay a negative effect of adding a backing material to the transducers. Okay. Another thing that we will have as an effect of okay as a consequence of adding a backing material is that okay that is going to give the transducer is okay what we can call a broad. Okay. Some people may also just okay use the word wide bandwidth. Clear? Lastest but not the least is going to be as okay what we'll call a low quality factor. Now this quality factor here can also be just known as okay the Q factor. Okay, so besides it's okay causing that the transducer with a backing material is okay has or produces pulse waves, which mainly is okay needed for is okay diagnostic imaging. It also is okay have three other effects, or as your book labeled them as okay consequences. Which one is going to be okay decreased sensitivity, a broad or wide bandwidth, and okay it's a low quality factor, or as we can also call it Q factor. Okay. Now goes first of all, yes, okay. What do we mean by a decreased sensitivity? Now goes there's no magic in it. Is okay when you say decreased, that means it's okay, it just means low. Right? Okay. What does the word sensitivity mean? Anybody can give me as okay some sort of clue of what the word sensitivity may mean.
All I can think of is like fragile.
Okay, you said fragile. Okay. Well, okay, you can put, but what the word fragile actually means is, you can say, okay, easy breakable. Okay, but it can be as okay, easily breakable because it's very sensitive. So in that case, as okay, that will have okay, as we can say, is okay, a high sensitivity. Something which is fragile or easy breakable is going to have okay, have a high sensitivity to, yes, okay, we can say it's okay, pressure or force or something like that, which makes it crack or break. Ladies, it's actually in the word. The ET here. Main is okay, just is derived from okay, we can say it's okay, ability. Or we can say ability to. Sense. Okay. Now sense we can is okay, say okay, yes. For instance, yes, okay, to feel. That's if you talk about is okay, the sense of touch. Sense to see. That's if you talk about is okay, the sense of sight. Okay, sense to hear. Things like that. Okay, but what does that mean? You just feel something. You actually is okay, picking up energy. Okay, sense to see. You actually is okay, seeing or is okay, responding to, or your eyes are responding to light energy. So it's okay, sense to hear, it's okay, it's your ears that mainly it's okay, are sensing vibrations of sound. Okay, but an easy example is okay, yes, sensitivity, you say it's okay, I have a good sensitivity of feeling. What does that mean? That, okay, yes, if you touch something, you are able to feel whether that is hot, soft, hard, smooth, rough, furry, whatever. Okay, so you can say it's okay, there's going to be it's okay, a good sensitivity. Okay, great. Or at least you can say it's okay, I are able to it's okay, feel well. Okay, now most likely it's okay, what is going to happen as you touch something, you will respond. You touch something which was okay as your stove, which was hot. Okay, now you having yes, okay, a good sensitivity is going to make you yes, okay, you can say it's okay, give you a good ability to feel that that stove was hot. And what's going to be your next response? Withdraw your hand. Clear? Now, people with, let's say, is okay, reduced sensitivity. Okay, which means is okay, will mean that okay, they will not be able to, okay, have that good of a sense of feeling, for instance. Okay, they will not respond. They can touch that hot stove and they will not know that it is hot. Why? Because they can't sense it. Or they can't feel that it is hot. And what will happen next? They may smell something burning before they then look at their hand and say, okay, oh, my hand was burning. Okay, so you can mainly say as okay, a matter of okay, as what the word sensitive means okay, is going to as okay be that okay as to sense and respond to anything. Is that clear? Now goes if that is decreased. If that is decreased, or let's say it's okay, your hearing ability is decreased. You have okay as reduced sensitivity of hearing. That mainly will mean that okay, yes, I have to produce a very, very loud voice for you to be able to hear it. Because okay, at normal volumes, well, okay, yes, At a normal volume, it's okay, you will not be able to hear it. So one of the reasons that, okay, as people may turn deaf is because of, okay, as their hearing or the sense of hearing actually has become less sensitive, or they as, okay, have a decreased sensitivity. So as a result of, okay, that decreased sensitivity of your transducer, that will mainly cause that, okay, yes, when the reflections come back, yes, okay, some of these are reflections here are going to be, yes, okay, of very low energy. Of reflections. Okay. And mainly as, okay, Martin says, okay, this is a consequence of, okay, yes, or an effect of your backing machine, that the transducer actually has a low sensitivity or a decreased sensitivity. That will mainly mean that, okay, yes, it may not respond to, yes, okay, low energy reflections, but only as, okay, respond to, as, okay, you can say it's okay, very, very, very high energy reflections. Okay, or may not respond to these low energy reflections, which may mean that, okay, as these low energy reflections here, as, okay, will not produce image information. Okay. Did that make sense? Or let us put it this way, goes. People who are allergic to something. People who are allergic to something. What is another way, or what is another word for, yes, okay, allergy?
Intolerance, maybe? I don't
No,
know. Okay.
that's not. Well, you can say yes, okay, intolerance, but okay, there's another word that has the word sensitive in it. Anybody?
I can't think of anything. I thought it would be
Well, you are
anti-flash.
not the only person. There are, okay, as 11 other girls in the group. Who has
Hypersensitivity.
Huh?
Their hypersensitivity.
Hypersensitivity. Now, what does hyper mean? Abnormally high, right? Clear? Okay. Now, somebody, let's say, yes, okay, somebody, yes, okay, maybe it's got stung by a bee. Okay. Okay. The only thing that they sense, okay, shit, okay, something just pinched me. Right? Okay. 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 I'm not allergic to bees, so I was like, why should I freak out? Okay. They just feel, okay, a pinch, and okay, that's like uncomfortable. Okay, that's fine. Okay. For a person, okay, yes, oh yes, okay, he may, okay, yes, just have a slight rash. It's just for a little bit, or it burns for a little bit, but okay, yes, then it's over. Clear? But then you have people who are, you can say, it's okay, hypersensitive to the venom. That's pretty much, okay, what it is, okay, that they actually are going to be as, okay, hypersensitive, they're going to overreact. okay, to that bee sting. Okay, mainly because, okay, because of as a result of a hyperallergic reaction. Why? Because their body is oversensitive to, as you can say, the venom of the bee. Okay, so people is okay who may not be as okay sensitive to it. It may as okay, just a little itch or a little burning, and that's it. So that's not really much of a response from the body. Hyper, yes. Okay, so yes, okay, when you say it's okay, decreased sensitivity. Okay, decreased sensitivity to what? To the sound waves. That will mainly mean that, okay, yes, that either it has to be as okay, strong sound waves with when it's okay, we can say it's okay, strong power, amplitude, and intensity. Okay, that is going to as okay produce an effect. Okay, mainly because as okay, the transducer ends up having as okay a decreased sensitivity to sound wave, which is okay as a consequence of the backing material. But that decreased sensitivity means that okay, as it will not respond to low intensity sound waves. Did that make sense? Okay. So sensitivity is okay when we talk about, you can say, so okay, audible sounds. Okay. I can be speaking in a normal tone, normal volume, etc. Right. Okay. But if on the other side is okay, there's no response, that will mainly mean that okay, yes, low sensitivity on the hearing side, which mainly may call myself, okay, let me wake up. These people here is like, wake up. So yes, okay, I may increase the volume. Okay. Or it's okay, here we can say it's okay, increase as okay, the intensity of the sound. But as I say, it's okay, this reduced or decreased sensitivity of sound actually is okay as we can say it's okay, it is a negative consequence of having as okay a backing material. Because what it does is that okay, as sound waves with low intensities may be too weak to actually as okay create an effect on the transducer. Okay. And especially as okay, what you guys already as okay should have an idea of that. Okay, as it's only going to be as okay a portion of 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 the energy that is being transmitted to the patient that will come back. So in many instances, okay, or many of our reflections are going to be as okay, very, 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 very low intensity energies. Okay, and then on top of that is okay, if the transducer is having as okay decreased sensitivity to sound waves, those low intensity sound waves are not going to be responded to. Okay. So that's mainly as okay why we can say that okay as the decreased sensitivity as okay is a negative effect of having a backing material. Did you girls get that? So decreased sensitivity mainly means that okay, yes, well, okay, you don't feel anything. You don't feel anything, then you won't respond. Clear? And what actually is okay can cause you not to feel anything is a reduced sensitivity. Now I remember, yes, okay, oh God, that's many, many, many years ago. But with our school, we actually just okay went on okay, yes, okay, you can say officially paid vacation. But it's okay. One of the guys that we had, oh yes, okay, who were with us actually, yes, okay, had neuropathy, so he couldn't really feel a lot of things. And the area where we were sent to, yes, okay, was okay by the forest in the country, and there was land and fields and so on. So the cattle. And what they actually put was okay, an electrical wire around the area where the cattle were grazing. So if you got too close to that wiring, it's okay, it will actually it's okay, shock you. So you couldn't enter into the fields. He couldn't feel anything. So yes, okay, he could actually yes, okay, grab onto that wire and okay, yes, not feel that okay, yes, he was actually yes, okay, getting shocked by the electricity in the electrical wire. Why? Mainly because of okay, yes, what we now call neuropathy. Okay, one of the consequences of neuropathy is that okay, as the person actually is okay becomes less sensitive or have a decreased sensitivity to yes, okay, certain kind of feelings. Did that make sense? So it's okay, he couldn't feel anything, he didn't respond. Likewise, here is okay, the transducers, okay, or you can say it's okay, that okay, they don't feel the energy because of the reduced sensitivity. Okay. So yes, okay, yes, okay, has to be yes, okay, a very, very strong signal that may yes, okay, just act like okay as a weak form of energy, but yes, okay, that may produce a response. Okay. But prime yes, okay, because most of our reflections that we get back will be low intensity energy. Okay. Yes, okay. This effect here of okay, yes, having a backing materials is going to be as okay having a negative effect on our transducer. As I said yesterday, having a PCT, yes, okay, that was the only means by which we could convert that electrical energy into sound energy. But another negative effect of that was that it had a super high impedance. So that's when they say, okay, what do we do to yes, okay, undo that? Or yes, okay, neutralize that. That's when they added is okay, the matching layer onto the transducers. Okay, girls? Any questions? Any question, ladies?
No.
Okay. Just take a 10-15 minutes break, read, okay, yes, what we have done about the backing material so far. And when we okay, girls, welcome back. Any questions so far?
No.
No.
Okay, girls. No, we can maybe it's okay. Just go on to the next one. That's going to be a major one. Okay. Now, what we can say would be yes, okay. Another consequence of adding or having yes, okay, back material is that they're going to give us okay as what we can call reference to either a wide or the word wide can also just okay be replaced by broad. Okay, which mainly would mean that's okay. Now, when we say wide and broad, that's mean that's okay. In both cases, that's going to mean okay, it would be large. Yep. Well, what is going to be wide or what is going to be broad is actually it's okay what we will call or what is going to be referred to as a bandwidth. Okay. Is that clear? Now the question then just comes, okay, yes, what in the blue is a bandwidth? Clear? So mainly as okay, we can mainly say okay, the bandwidth that is going to be as okay, the range of frequency. Is that clear? Now, go. Usually, it's okay when you see the word range of anything. Here is okay, just going to be the range of frequency, right? What that range mainly is okay will mean that okay, that's going to be as okay a minimum number or a minimal value, which in this case I will be at okay the minimal frequency, or we can say it's okay. As a matter of fact, it's okay the lowest frequency. Clear? There, okay, at the other end of the range, mainly as okay will mean the maximum. Which in this case are going to be as okay the maximum frequency. Or which we mainly can say is okay will be the highest frequency. Okay. So whatever frequencies comes between the minimum and the maximum frequency, that range is going to be referred to as the bandwidth. Did you girls get that? And one of the consequences of adding a backing material is that we actually are going to have okay as a okay, now that's probably wide or broad or a great range between the minimum frequency and maximum frequency. Which mainly means that there will be actually a great difference. That great range mainly as okay between the minimum and maximum frequency is mainly going to mean that there will be a great difference between these two frequencies here, which is the minimum and the maximum frequency. And that great difference is going to be as okay what we can call is okay a broad or wide bandwidth. Where the bandwidth itself was okay as what is the difference between the minimum and maximum frequencies of your transducer. Did you girls get that?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Now, usually that's okay, and we can make this okay. That's okay. An example that I usually is okay give my students. Okay. Now, please, girls, do not think that okay. Please don't take that okay as the word wide bandwidth means a high frequency, and narrow bandwidth means low frequency. Clear? A low frequency or mainly as okay just mean if we said sorry. If we say a low frequency, that would mean as okay mean that there's going to be as okay a low number of cycles per second. Okay, so a low frequency does not mean low bandwidth. Likewise, okay, a high frequency is not going to necessarily mean a broad bandwidth. Clear? Your bandwidth is mainly as okay, just likewise, we can say okay if you said high frequency. What that high frequency means is okay, will just mean it is going to be okay, a great number of cycles per second. That will give you a high frequency. Clear? But if we say that okay, as if there is a great difference between yes, okay, the low and high frequency in a transducer, that great difference that is going to yes, okay, be a great bandwidth. Whereas okay, if there's a low difference between the maximum or the low frequency and high frequency of a transducer, that difference is going to be as okay. That if there's a low difference, that's going to be as okay a low bandwidth. So the bandwidth is mainly as okay, just okay as what is the difference between the minimum frequency and the maximum frequency. Right? Okay. The greater that difference, the wider or broader will be the bandwidth. Clear? Okay, whereas okay, as lesser that difference between the minimum and maximum, you can mainly say okay, that will be a low bandwidth. Did you guys get that? Okay, so an example is okay where you hear is okay or come across terms such as bandwidth is when you buy a radio. Now I can just give you an example of a low bandwidth radio and a great bandwidth radio. Clear? Now your great bandwidth radio, that's probably okay, something that you may find in your car. Right, okay. Now why would that be called a great bandwidth radio? Mainly because it will be able to yes, okay, tune into a greater range of frequencies. Clear? Okay. And whenever you, for instance, okay, listen to radio stations, they may say, okay, right now we are transmitting our transmission at such and such and such a frequency, short wave, long wave, FM, and all that. Okay, but okay, by saying yes, okay, when you tune into that frequency, that you actually okay, which is okay, pick up that specific station. Okay, but just okay, that radio in your cars is going to be as okay a broadband radio, meaning because it's going to be able to as okay tune into a great range of frequencies, which actually is okay enable users okay be able to tune into, or is okay be able to catch a greater variety of radio stations. Did that make sense? So your car radio has a broad bandwidth. Clear? Okay. Now you may go to a dollar store and buy a radio there. Right, okay. Now, yes, okay, you turn that radio on, yes, okay, and you realized, okay, I'm only able to, yes, okay, tune into, yes, okay, or catch a maximum of 5 channels on this one here. Why is that? Because that radio actually has a narrow bandwidth. Okay, what do you mean by that narrow bandwidth? That it actually is okay, is only able to, yes, okay, tune into, yes, okay, a narrower range of frequencies. So whatever radio stations are okay, as you can say, it's okay, transmitting their programs or telecast or not telecast, okay, using those frequencies, that's okay. That will be the radio station that you'll be able to tune in. But why is that going to be a narrow bandwidth radio? Mainly because it only is okay, it's okay, able to tune into a smaller range of frequencies. Did that make sense? Right, okay. And then we can go to the, yes, okay, very extreme, yes, okay. The people in the army, for instance, they have some, yes, okay, their radio sets. Their radio sets actually, yes, okay, produces, yes, okay, or yes, okay, transmit signals on, yes, okay, even, yes, okay, a wide range of frequency. Okay. And one thing that they don't want the enemies to know, what frequency is it that we are using to, yes, okay, convey messages from one another, yes, okay, amongst ourselves. Because if they are able to tune into that, they can actually sit there and, okay, as listen to your plan beforehand. Did that make any sense? Okay, okay. So what makes, okay, something a broad bandwidth? Me is okay because it has, it's going to be able to just, okay, produce a great range of frequencies. Okay, and we can actually say, okay, there is going to be as okay a positive point or as okay a plus point of that as okay adding backing material onto your transducer. That it actually is okay increases the bandwidth of your transducer. Which mainly or mean that okay your transducer actually will have a be able to just okay produce sound in a greater range of frequencies. Is that clear? Okay, okay. But as I said, please do not confuse a broad bandwidth with a high frequency and a low bandwidth with a low frequency. Clear? Okay. The bandwidth is going to be the range between the minimum and the maximum. Now you can make it says, okay, the greater that range, the broader will be your bandwidth. So if we say, okay, a narrow bandwidth, lesser difference between, yes, okay, the two frequencies, where one was maximum, the other one was minimum. Clear? Whereas if you said broader, then it's going to be a greater difference. You say broader bandwidth, greater difference. Broader difference or broader bandwidth, you know, greater difference between the minimum and the maximum frequency. Any questions?
No.
Any questions?
No.
Okay, now you see, yes, okay, your note box on your page. 118, where they talk about the bandwidth, right? Please remember, girl, now that's okay. Now we already said, as a consequence or as an effect of, okay, yes, you were, what the blue we call that fellow? Backing material or damping material. What did we get? We actually, is okay, caused the transducer to be a pulse wave transducer. Right? Okay. Okay. So when yes, okay, the consequence is okay, the main, yes, okay, effect that we got from okay, yes, adding a backing material was that we had that we got a pulsed wave transducer. Okay, where we can mainly says okay versus just okay a continuous wave. Now, what did we say that our pulse wave is okay? That doesn't mean that's okay where we only had a pulse versus yes, okay, a continuous wave. Where we can mainly say, okay, now this is going to be as okay a long event. Because okay, it's going to be a long continuous flow of cycles versus here, yes, okay, this is a short event. Mainly because I will only, yes, okay, just a short burst of cycles. Okay, so just remember, girls, just okay, a short event is always going to just okay have a great bandwidth. There's okay a long event, which is okay, maybe it's okay what we have in case of okay as a continuous wave transducer. Those are going to have okay as a narrow or a small or narrow bandwidth. Okay. Now this relationship here is okay, that's again going to become relevant in chapter 15. This relationship here is going to yes, okay, become relevant again, yes, okay, in chapter 19. Okay, but for now, just remember that okay, yes, or you can make this okay, just do it this way and say, well, okay, in a pulse wave material, yes, okay, what did we have? Or pulse wave transducer, sorry. What was it that we had? We had a backing material, and one of the consequences of that backing material was mainly yes, okay, going to give us the great bandwidth. Okay. The main reason that we had backing material was mainly as okay, so that we could produce as okay a pulsed wave, where okay pulses are always going to yes, okay be short events. Did you girls get that? Okay. But girls, please do not confuse a low frequency with low bandwidth. And please do not confuse as okay a high bandwidth with a high frequency. Is that clear? Is that clear, girls?
Yes.
Now we can make okay. We can make this okay. Just take an example and say okay, what will be is okay a narrow bandwidth and a high great bandwidth. Now we can say, okay, we may have a transducer or it's okay, anything. Okay. Where we can make says, okay, now let's just do this a little bit colorful. Where we can say, okay, in both cases, okay, our minimal frequency. Which means, okay, that's going to be, okay, the lowest frequency. We can say, okay, is 2 kilohertz. Clear? Okay. So in both cases, okay, we kept just, okay, this here as the minimal frequency. There, okay, as for one of them, we may say is okay that our maximum frequency which is going to be as okay the greatest frequency, or as okay, let's say as okay our first transducer here, maybe as okay. We can take this here as okay as 2 megahertz. Yeah, where okay, as for the other transducer, we can mainly say okay our maximum frequency here. Or as okay, the highest frequency. It's just going to be as okay. Let's say it's okay, 20 kilohertz. So what do we see here? In A versus B. That in A, transducer A is okay, what we have is that there is okay as a greater difference between the minimum frequency and the maximum frequency. Right, okay. So maybe that's okay due to that great difference here. This is going to be as okay, be a frequency with a broad or wide bandwidth. Compared to as okay, what we have down here. Okay, we can make as okay that there's okay as a lesser difference. That means it's okay, just a difference of yes, okay, we can say okay, 18 kilohertz. So yes, okay, this whatsoever that will be. But maybe yes, okay, just have a bandwidth of 18 kilohertz. Contrast to this one here, we have okay as a bandwidth of okay as 1.98 megahertz. As a frequency, also as a bandwidth. Okay, because I was just going to say, okay, what's the difference between 2 kilohertz and 2 megahertz? Is that clear? So in this case, it says, okay, that due to yes, okay, that lower difference here and greater difference here between the two frequencies. That's okay, A has a low, or yes, okay, or we can say it's okay, a narrow bandwidth compared to A, which means it's okay, has a broad or wide bandwidth. Why? Because there's a greater difference between the minimum and maximum frequency. Is that clear? Okay. So just because that's okay, we can say that's okay. Just because this one here had a low frequency. Well, okay, so what of this, as a matter of fact, is okay, the minimum frequency was the same. That doesn't make these transducers, okay, these two or here, big transducer here, low frequency or low bandwidth transducers. Because the bandwidth is going to be as okay, the term which we are all dependent upon the difference between the minimum and the maximum. The minimum and the maximum. The greater the difference, the greater the bandwidth. Is that clear? Is that clear, girls? Lower the difference, lower the bandwidth. Now, what you guys may, yes, okay, here, and okay, is actually is okay if it's the first sentence or first paragraph of your book talks about it, okay, mention it as okay as the resonant frequency. Clear? Just keep in mind, go this resonant frequency is okay, can also be known as the main frequency. Clear? Okay, so your resonant frequency also can be known as the main frequency. Did you guys get that? Okay, now in this case, if you can mean says okay that the main frequency is okay, could have been something around, should we say? Let's say it's okay, 11 or 12 megahertz. Also, no, megahertz, sorry. Kilohertz. Okay, yeah, it could be as okay as something like okay as 1.2 megahertz, for instance. Okay. So roughly speaking, yes, okay, the main frequency, yes, okay, going to be yes, okay, a value that falls as okay, somewhere in the middle between the minimum and the maximum frequency. Okay. Is that clear, girls?
I'm confused. I'm not getting what you're saying in the middle of the minimum and the maximum.
That is going to be referred to as the resonant frequency, also known as the main frequency. Did you get that? Or do you
Yeah.
want me to? Right, okay. So mainly as okay in the range of your bandwidth, which will mean is okay, just the difference between the minimum frequency and the maximum frequency, minimum frequency and maximum frequency. Okay, we can mean says okay, the frequency that falls in between or has a value right in the middle somewhere between the maximum and minimum and maximum. Minimum and maximum is going to be referred to as the main frequency or the resonant frequency. Right. Now, usually goes that's okay when you look at a transducer, it will say it's okay, this transducer here has a frequency of, let's say it's okay, 10 megahertz. Okay, so if a transducer is said to be it's okay a 10 megahertz transducer, that mainly means that okay, as what they mentioned here is okay, as what we can call is okay, the main frequency, or also known as the resonant frequency. Did that make sense? Right? But then comes as okay, it's bandwidth. This is what the main frequency of your transducer. You said 10 megahertz. Most transducers, okay, will be as okay. You see a frequency written on it in one way or the other. Okay, but then comes the bandwidth. Now, this, for instance, okay, is a pulsed wave transducer. What will I have? I have okay as a great bandwidth. What would that great bandwidth mean? That we actually is okay, we have a great difference between us, okay, what will be the minimal frequency, and let's say it's okay, maximum frequency. Yeah, the minimum frequency here could have been, let's say it's okay, 6 megahertz. And we can say it's okay, then the maximum frequency is okay, would be 14 megahertz. So what does become your bandwidth in this case is okay, your bandwidth is going to be okay, the difference between 6 and 14, which is okay, you have a bandwidth of 8 megahertz. That makes sense. Did that make sense?
Yes.
Check. Did you get that now, or is it still?
No, I got it. I got it. Thank you.
Likewise, okay, we can still say, okay, well, okay, we may have, okay, as a other frequency, okay, other transducer with, okay, as a 10 megahertz main frequency. But this transducer here is, okay, may be a continuous wave transducer. Now, mainly because that transducer doesn't have a backing material. That would actually as okay be okay as having a low bandwidth. And what is that low bandwidth mainly going to mean? That okay, as now this was the main frequency, but we may say as okay, it may have okay as a bandwidth. That means okay, just goes from, let's say, 10.1 megahertz. Oh, sorry. Let's say 9.1 megahertz to a maximum of, let's say it's okay, 11.1 megahertz. So what is our bandwidth here? Our bandwidth is just going to be as okay, 2 megahertz. You can see, okay, that's a less difference between the maximum and minimum frequency. Okay. So yes, okay. The whole thing that happened here, yes, okay, we can say it's okay as a consequence of one of the other effects that we got from, yes, okay, adding a backing material to the transducer is that it gives that transducer a broad bandwidth. Over that broad bandwidth, that was going to be as okay greater range between the minimum and maximum frequency produced by that transducer. Clear? Okay. But your bandwidth is still going to be expressed as using the unit of frequency. Because that's okay, it is still just okay, just a range between the minimum and maximum. Just like, okay, when you go on the highway, right? Okay, any highway. No, it's just a matter of, okay, who abides those. But what is that they say? Well, okay, the speed range here or the speed limits here is 65 and 45. Right, okay, so what does that mean? That you should be driving anything, a speed between anything between, yes, okay, 65 miles per hour and 45 miles per hour. So that's okay, you can say, okay, the range of speed limits. Clear? You may say, okay, here is okay, the highways may have, okay, as a broad, narrow speed limit. Okay, where you may say, well, okay, what if there's a highway where they actually is, okay, say, well, okay, you can go as slow as 15 miles per hour, and you can go as fast as 150 miles per hour. No, that's going to again is okay, this BS okay, green range. Right. But you can say, okay, here the range is going to be as okay, 135 miles per hour range. Yeah, okay, what is the range of a standard highway? 55 and 65, 25 miles or 20 miles per hour range. Okay. Okay. So yes, okay, your bandwidth is still going to be as okay expressed, yes, okay, using the unit of a frequency. Okay, because we may as okay measure yes, okay, the difference between the maximum and minimum frequencies. Is that clear? So they will say, okay, the bandwidth is going to be this much range of the frequencies. Okay, but just because something has a great bandwidth doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to be okay, a high frequency transducer. Or just because something has a low bandwidth doesn't necessarily makes it a low frequency transducer. So those two are completely different things. Is that clear? Okay. And maybe that's okay, just as I showed here. Or said here. We can say it's okay, 10 megahertz, 10 megahertz is okay. We may just say, okay, that may be as okay, a high frequency transducer. Okay. We say, okay, that's a high frequency. But we still had, okay, yes, a high frequency transducer with a low bandwidth. We still have a high frequency transducer with a great bandwidth. Did that make sense?
Yes.
But when you say, okay, what is the difference between 6 megahertz and 14 megahertz? That's a difference of 8 megahertz, right? Okay, what is the difference between 9.1 megahertz? You can say 9 megahertz and 11 megahertz. Okay, that's going to be as okay, a difference of 2 megahertz. Okay, which means that's okay, it's still going to be as okay your bandwidth, but that's okay as it's going to be still as okay expressed in the units of frequency. Okay, and usually that's okay, most likely that's okay, in most instances, okay, somewhere in the middle, in the range. That's made as okay, where we will have okay, as what we can call it okay, the main frequency, also referred to as the resonant frequency. Okay, so we can make this as okay, main frequency is also known as the resonant frequency. Have any of you ever seen soldiers march? Not necessarily in live, even on TV.
Yeah.
Okay. What is it that they do? They hit the yes, okay, you can say it's okay, hit the ground with their foot at the same time. And that means okay, you can maybe say okay, that's because okay, that's going to be called that they are walking in resonance. Okay, which is going to say okay, you can say okay, if they hit the foot on the ground at the same time, what do you get? All those sounds are going to say okay, be added up, and you hear it as one big loud sound, right? There's okay, as if they spread it out and say, okay, you go first, followed by this group, followed by this group, followed by this group, followed by this group. That's going to say, okay, spreading it out. So the more it's okay to spread out, the yes, okay, the greater is going to be yes, okay, the bandwidth. But yes, okay, those soldiers, yes, okay, if they are marching and they are to cross a bridge, strategically, yes, okay, they will be asked to break the resonance of their footsteps at that point. Mainly so that, okay, as the bridge doesn't go like this. Okay, it's not every place that's okay that you find, okay, as a bridge made up of steel, concrete, and cement and all that. Okay, so that means that's okay, they just, you can say, oh, it's okay, breaking the resonance. And the more the resonance is broken, it's okay, the broader is going to be, it's okay. You can say, okay, the difference of the frequencies. But please, 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 don't say that a low frequency transducer means low bandwidth, and a high frequency transducer means high bandwidth. Clear? Okay. The bandwidth is mainly as okay, something that you can calculate mainly as okay, just by subtracting the minimum frequency from the maximum frequency. That will give you the bandwidth. Whereas the frequency, or as okay, resonant frequency, also known as the main frequency, mainly as okay, is going to be as okay, and number something as okay in between. But yes, okay, what in your book is described as okay, as known as okay, resonant frequency. In the first paragraph on bandwidth, please mark that can also be known as the main frequency. Clear? Okay. Or as you may see as okay, the frequency of the major with the major power. And that's why I say it's okay. When all those soldiers is okay, it's okay. Hit the ground at the same time. What do you get? You get okay as a sound with a great power. More loud, right? Okay. Where okay as if they are asked not to, then okay as it's going to just okay be dispersed. Then you may something like that. Or have any of you ever played a drum? You may not have a drum in your house, but okay, as you can go to your kitchen, get any is okay pot and hit it with a spoon. Okay. The loudest sound that you hear, that is the main because of the main frequency. But then it may it's okay tune out like that. And for the longer time, you're still able to hear that mean that okay, you produce that sound with a broader bandwidth. Did that make sense? Okay. Any questions? No questions?
No.
Okay, goes. Then the last one. Or we can say, okay, the last consequence. The last consequence of, yes, okay, adding a backing material is low quality factor. Now, girls, please keep in mind that, okay, as low quality factor, sorry, let's put this way, girls. So that's okay. Quality factor. Well, okay, that can also be called Q factor. Okay. So quality factor may also go under the name Q factor. And why do I tell you that? Mainly it's okay because you have to remember both of these names here, terms here. Because it's not going to be always that, okay, yes, the question may have the term or use the term quality factor. They may just have a used, okay, as a summarized or shorter version, Q factor. Is that clear? Okay, so you have to just, okay, remember both names. Now comes the thing. And okay, as it says, low quality factor. And some of you are going to just, okay, be scratching your heads and say, what the hell? We don't want low quality, we want good quality, we want high quality, right? Okay, goals. And that's why it's okay, this term here is okay, is a crazy word. Okay, this has nothing to do with the quality of the image that you will be producing. Okay. Did that make sense? So this thing here has nothing to do with quality. And I said, then you can say, okay, well, why the hell call it quality then? Well, okay, they gotta call it something. Okay. As a matter of fact, goal says, okay, this quality factor here now as okay, what we mainly will see is that okay, as a consequence of okay, as adding a backing material, okay, what is going to give us is going to give us a low quality factor. So what in there is it that this quality factor or Q factor is? Okay, now your Q factor or quality factor goes that is mainly as okay, just going to be as okay, a ratio of, yes, okay, as I said earlier, the main frequency, which we should also, yes, okay, know that okay, it can be referred to as okay, as the maximum, as okay, the resonant frequency. Right? Clear? Which is that's going to be, yes, okay, divided by your bandwidth. Did you guys get that? Did you girls get that?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so if you look at this equation here, you can mainly, as okay, say, okay, what is going to be as okay, the relationship between quality factor and your bandwidth. They are going to be as okay, inversely related. Now, what did we just said? That we had as a consequence of adding or having yes, okay, a backing material and trying to do so. That was going to give us a great bandwidth, which we may is okay, just call this okay, we refer to this as going as okay, being a broad bandwidth or a wide bandwidth. We may yes, okay, just mean it's okay, a great difference between the minimum and maximum frequency, right? So mainly because of having yes, okay, a great bandwidth as a consequence of adding a backing material, that means is going to cause that, okay, yes, that your quality factor is going to be low. Now just provide that, okay, we kept the main frequency the same.
Question.
Yes, my dear.
So the bandwidth is reciprocal to the quality factor,
Exact. No, not reciprocal.
just inversely.
Inversely related.
Oh, because the 1/, that's why I asked. Because it looked like it was supposed to be like a fraction.
No. It's my dear. This here means proportional.
No. I mean like that 1, and it looks like you're making the 1/ the bandwidth. It looks like it's supposed to
That
be a
means
fraction.
okay. What that okay when it goes like this, that means sorry, inversely proportional.
Okay. Just making sure.
Okay. They're not going to be reciprocal. This is just a short way of okay as writing something is okay being inversely proportional to another. Now we can just go and look at okay as our example that we had here. These two different transducers, right? That they both have yes, okay, the same main frequency, right? Okay. So what do we have? Now it means okay, just going to just okay calculate the quality factor for these two transducers here. They both had the same main frequency, right? Okay, 10 megahertz, 10 megahertz. Clear? Whereas okay, for the orange one, yes, okay, what was our bandwidth? We had a bandwidth of 8 megahertz. Right, okay. Whereas okay, for this other one here is okay, we had a bandwidth of 2 megahertz. Here can we say it's okay, this is a low bandwidth. This up here is okay, was great bandwidth. Is that clear? Okay. But roughly speaking, it's okay if we divide 10 by 8, what we get is 1.25. That is going to be it's okay, our quality factor here. Okay. Where okay, as when we divide 10 by 2, what do you get? You get 5. So that's our quality factor. What caused this to yes, okay. So when we're comparing these two numbers, we can already say okay that this number here is low. So that means okay, we have a low quality factor. Where okay, this one here is high. So we mean yes, okay, have a high quality factor. Why? Because we had a low frequency or we had a low bandwidth. Why do we have a high quality factor here? Mean it's okay, a low quality factor here. Mainly because okay, we had a broad bandwidth. And in both transducers is okay, we had the same mean frequency. Clear? Okay. So that means that's okay, it just establishes the fact that okay, as quality factor is going to yes, okay, be inversely proportional to the bandwidth. Okay. So yes, okay, in imaging transducer or pulsing transducer or pulse wave transducers, what was it we had? We had a great bandwidth. That great bandwidth actually is okay, will lead to a low quality factor. That's what we said in okay, as our continuous wave transducer. Well, okay, as that will give us okay as a narrow bandwidth. And due to that narrow bandwidth, that's why we actually will have okay as a great quality factor. Clear? Okay, but how do we, yes, okay, calculate or determine, yes, okay, our quality factor? Mainly, yes, okay, just by dividing the main frequency. Or if you just call it, okay, the resonant frequency by the bandwidth. And what I mainly said was that, okay, as whenever you have something like this, you could mainly, as okay, directly, as okay, from the equation, determine the relationship. Because, okay, whatever you're calculating here is always going to be, as okay, inversely proportional to the denominator of your equation. But in this case, as our denominator, that is the bandwidth. So quality factor is always going to be as okay, inversely proportional to bandwidth, because bandwidth is the denominator of your equation to calculate the quality factor. Yeah. And made as okay, as a consequence of having a backing material, we have a great bandwidth, which means that we would divide the main frequency as okay by a greater number, which would give us okay as a low quality factor. Okay, but this low quality factor doesn't mean low quality image. Okay, okay. Did that make sense? Any questions, girls? No. Okay, girls, so yes, okay, some of the topics that we have talked about so far, whether that was today or whether that was yesterday. You may have, yes, okay, you may not. You have 8 questions on page 121. Okay. Now just take, should I say, yes, okay, 15 minutes. You can read on your back, yes, okay, bandwidth. You can read on your quality factor. And you can try to answer these 8 questions here. And then we can, yes, okay, come back and make this okay. Go over the questions again, try to, yes, okay, revise the things that we have done for the last 2 days by answering these questions here. And then you guys can go on a lunch break. Does that sound like a fair deal? Okay, girls. So I see you girls no later than 11:42. Yes, girlies. Any questions at this point?
The first question, kind of tricked me.
Yeah, can we go over that one?
Sure. The first one, okay. So let's see, yes, okay, now you're given 5 substances. Yeah, that's okay. Let's just see. So that's okay, I give you 5 substances. What do we have? We have backing material. We have PCT. We have, okay, that's matching layer. we got gel, and we got skin. Okay. Right, okay. Whose impedances are measured. Unfortunately, the label identifying the impedances of each substance has fallen off these material. Okay. 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 So we have labels that mean that's okay, gives us okay as impedances of 0.8 megarails. That's okay. We have, what else do we have? 1.9 megarails. We have 1.6 megarails. Then we have 2 megarails. And then we have 1 megarail. Okay. If the impedances of the backing material was 1.9 megarails. If the impedance of the backing material was 1.9 megarails. What are the impedances of soft tissue? Do you have soft tissue? Soft tissue matching layer gel and the PCT and why? Okay. Now, this will go here. The matching layer is just going to be as okay. Lesser than either of these, which will be this. Yeah, then we go as okay. Gel is just going to be less than 1.6. So that will be sorry. It's just okay. This will be gel. And then leaves this. Skin. What did I say? Now we may say okay that the ECTRS, okay, and backing material has an impedance that is may not necessarily be as okay exactly the same, but closely. Clear? But then again, yes, okay, just go, we say. But then okay, yes, it's just going to it's okay, get lower and lower and lower. So what they may is okay, just ask you to do is just okay, arrange these numbers here. Yes, okay, in a decreasing order. Or mainly it's okay, just that table that you have on note on page 116. Did that make sense?
Yeah.
So that bottom line, or is actually 2 bottom lines on your note on page 116. That means okay what they asked about here. And okay, as I say, yes, okay. The cheapest means okay, just go from biggest to smallest. Or the impedance actually is okay, decreases as the sound wave is okay travels through its okay components from ding 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 ding. Whatever happened after the skin, well, okay, that is going to determine is okay whether we end up with okay as a strong reflection or whether we end up with okay as a weak reflection. But it can mean it's okay that the greater the impedance, the stronger will be the reflection, meaning we call more energy that hits the tissue boundary is going to say, okay, you got a reflector back. And or vice versa. So as a tissue that offers us okay lesser impedance is going to produce a weaker reflection. Did you girls get that?
Yes.
Yes.
Good. So if you had known that table, this was okay as right off the book. Now question number 2. Now that means okay, it just says okay, your pulse length is directly or inversely related to pulse duration. So pulse length. Is it directly proportional to your pulse duration? Or is it inversely proportional to your pulse duration? Now, go strategically, yes, okay, they didn't give you the whole meaning or the whole thing here. It actually okay, should have been spatial pulse length. So yes, okay, your spatial pulse length is directly proportional to your pulse duration. Why? Now, a common factor that okay has determined both of these here was, sorry, how many cycles does the pulse have? Whereas, okay, spatial length or length here actually will become that is okay, the number of cycles is multiplied by the wavelength of each cycle. Whereas here duration is meaning okay, talking about time. How long is it that the pulse will last if you had XYZ number of cycles? So here that time is going to is okay, be multiplied by the time of each cycle, which you call the period. And we already also know that okay, as that your wavelength is okay directly proportional to period. So if you have a pulse with okay as cycles of a great wavelength, that's going to okay mean that those cycles will also have a great period. Okay, where in both cases, okay, the number of cycles per pulse would be the same. And or vice versa. So you have okay as pulses with a shorter period, they're going to have a shorter wavelength. Did that make sense?
Yeah.
So pretty much okay as a question is okay that okay as is relevant only as okay to chapter 4. Question number 3. No, they just ask us as okay, the same kind of thing, and asking is Q factor. Now what was this Q factor here? That would mean is okay, what we just earlier said was what we call quality factor. What they're asking us is this Q factor here going to be as okay directly proportional or inversely proportional to bandwidth. And we made SOK just saw it, but did that before SOK going on a break. That this is the relationship. That's why, okay, transducers with a great bandwidth will have a low quality factor. So that causes it to become inversely related. The greater the bandwidth, the lower the quality factor. What was your bandwidth? That difference between the minimum and maximum. Did that make sense? Okay, question number 4. Now your pulse duration. And it's okay, that again, it's okay asking us, is that inversely proportional or is that directly proportional to the bandwidth? Right, okay. And mainly it's okay, as we saw in the notice. Now we say it's okay, the shorter the pulse duration, the greater will be the bandwidth. And actually it's okay, goes what we will see later on is that okay, as shorter pulse durations. Okay. Now one thing that they will give us is okay, as they will give us okay as shorter spatial pulse length. This shorter spatial pulse length here is me as okay going to as okay be due to as okay a low. Sorry. A high frequency. But there's going to be another factor here. Okay. But what we also said was okay as things with short duration are going to have because it's okay, great bandwidths. Right, okay. So that mainly is okay, cause it okay, we can say it's okay here. If one arrow goes down and one arrow goes up, that can make pulse duration and bandwidth become inversely proportional. Okay. We mainly could say it's okay if we have a long pulse duration, we will have a narrow bandwidth. What will be a long pulse duration? Oh, yeah, it's okay, a continuous wave, right? Okay. Whereas it's going to be, it's okay, opposite. So if it says, okay, a short pulse duration, that will be as okay, yeah, greater bandwidth. But this would actually have, okay, as a greater bandwidth. Okay. or just that node box, then your chapter, oh yes, okay, on page 118. That's me, that's okay, what they asked about here. That says, what they say is okay, short events have a greater bandwidth. Longer events have a short bandwidth. Did you girls get that?
Yeah.
Good. Question number 5. Now the sensitivity of the sensitivity of transducers that create short pulse durations is likely to be greater than, lesser than, or equal to transducers that create long pulses. Now, if you, oh, yes, okay, just know, yes, okay, I'll look at the consequences of, okay, as backing material. Now, what did we say as okay? One of the consequences of, okay, as backing material was great bandwidth, right? Which means is okay, as we just said in the previous question, was due to yes, okay, small pulse duration. Clear? Another factor that we said was okay, as that okay, as a consequence of your small as okay backing material was that we had okay as a reduced sensitivity. Did that make sense? Okay, so the main says okay, the sensitivity of transducer that creates short duration pulse. Okay, it's likely to be okay. Equal to a long pulse. Versus yes, okay, if we didn't have yes, okay, backing material. If we didn't have backing material, what will we have? A low bandwidth. Because it's okay, a greater pulse duration, or mainly as okay, say okay, that will have been as okay, a continuous. Clear? Continuous wave. And that continuous wave is going to have okay as a great sensitivity. Okay, the sensitivity of the fluid that produce a short pulse is likely going to be lesser than the transducer that create long pulses. Mainly is okay due to yes, okay, lesser backing material. Or no backing material at all. Did that make sense?
Yes.
Good. Question number 6. All of the following correctly describes an imaging transducer except from. So what we could say is okay, an imaging transducer. That was okay, what we call a pulse wave transducer. What may, okay, that was one, yes, okay, then this question has, okay, call an imaging transducer. What makes a pulse wave transducer or an imaging transducer, an imaging a pulse wave transducer? That means, okay, going to be because it has backing material. Okay, so this question has only is going to yes, okay. I may assume that it's going to yes, okay, ask her about consequences of backing material. So that's okay. Does backing material, does that create, okay, as a high sensitivity? No, rather vice versa. Did backing material, did that cause a low quality factor? Yes. Clear. Did your, sorry, what do you call that fellow? Imaging transducer, or is okay, a consequence of backing material, did that cause that we had a wide or broad bandwidth? Yes. Clear. A transducer with backing material, that's going to just okay be damped. Yes, because another name for your backing material was damping material. So the only one that didn't fit in here was okay as high sensitivity. Did that make sense? Okay, but they didn't ask you about yes, okay. They didn't put anything about yes, okay, your backing material in the question. They may yes, okay, just said pulse wave transducer, or we can say okay, imaging transducer. Clear? From imaging transducer, you will have to assume that okay, yes, it is a pulse wave transducer. What do we have in a pulse wave transducer? We have backing material. So what is going to yes, okay, be true about the backing material? Yes, okay, that's the one that you can check. Okay, this is true. This is true. This one didn't, because for backing materials, okay, it was the opposite. We have a low sensitivity. Did that make sense? Did that make sense, girls?
Yeah.
Good. So don't say, Mike, it didn't say. The question didn't say as okay, a transducer with backing material. You will have to be, which is okay, get that. And I already showed it. So there's no excuse. Question number 7, true or false? Now, shorter duration events. And it says, okay, such as damp pulses. Okay. Are more likely to have a bias, okay, wide bandwidth. That's true. Okay. That's true. And again, that's okay. That table, when they talk about it's okay. On page 118, on note. Events of shorter duration will have greater bandwidths. So that note is there for a reason. Question number 8. And we talked about that yesterday. What occurs when a PCT's crystal or crystal's temperature is elevated above the Curie point? Now you can say, I mean, it's a Curie point, that was the temperature at which the PCT would polarize. And what did we mean by polarize? The process of creating a piezoelectrical effect. But if we increase the temperature about that, that is actually going to cause that the PCT is going to depolarize. Which means, okay, means that it will not be able to polarize. It will not be able to create a piezoelectrical effect. Or simply straightforward saying, yes, okay, it will be damaged. Okay, so whatever you girls may have put in the toaster, microwave, oven, or on top of the stove, if you keep on boiling it from this point and onward, it may get into something that you say, I can't eat this. So before that happens, go and take your lunch break. Okay, girls? Okay, and I will see you ladies back at, should we say, 5 minutes past 1. Which?
When?
5 past 1.
Okay.
No?
No.
Okay, ladies, now the next thing that we will be talking about is going to be transducer frequencies. Clear? And what do you mean by frequency? That's going to be, yes, okay, just be the number of cycles per second. Now, as far as transducers are concerned, girls, we can have 2 kinds of transducers. Clear? We can have, okay, that's what we call continuous wave transducers, which we also can call non-imaging transducers. And, oh yes, okay, they can also be called therapeutic transducers. Is that clear? Okay. So the question is, okay, just going to be, is okay. So that's one kind of transducer. The other kind of transducers that we may have is going to be, okay, what we can call as, okay, pulsed wave transducers. And what we already said was that these are going to be, okay, be transducers which are going to produce an image. So that's why they will be called as, okay, imaging transducers. Is that clear? Okay, so you can be asked about as, okay, what is the frequency of a pulsed wave transducer? But they may not use the word pulse wave, they may just use as, okay, an imaging transducer. Clear? Okay. And what we now already also know is that, okay, yes, an imaging transducer has backing material. Whereas, okay, as a non-imaging transducer does not have backing material. Clear? Did you ladies get that? Did you ladies get that?
Yes.
Good. Now let's just go. Now goes as far as, okay, yes. Now, as far as a continuous wave transducer is concerned, which we also call as, okay, a non-imaging transducer, which we also call a therapeutic transducer, where we just established, well, okay, yes, that it doesn't have backing material. Clear? And what was it that we said about backing materials? Okay, we also called it damping material. So we can mean it says, okay, a continuous wave transducer does not have any damping. Now just look at it. If this here was your transducer, well, okay, yes, it is still going to have, yes, okay, some sort of PCT. Clear? Okay. It may even as, okay, we can say, okay, have matching layer, but that's not the point here. The main point is that, okay, as this transducer here is, okay, is going to most likely, is, okay, get its signals in form of an electrical energy. And this electrical energy here, or electrical wave, is going to have its own frequency. Clear? Now, what this electrical frequency mean is going to cause is that it's going to, okay, create vibrations in your PCT, right? Which can't be damped. Is that clear? So that mainly mean that, okay, yes, the frequency is, okay, produced by this PCT here is going to, yes, okay, be the frequency of this transducer, of which it actually is, okay, going to be the same as the frequency of the electrical signal. So if this signal here is, okay, was, let's say, or the frequency of the electrical signal was, just take any number, 20 kilohertz. In this case, it's okay, there's no question about it. The frequency of this transducer here is also going to be 20 kilohertz because there's no damping. If the frequency of an electrical signal here was 2000 kilohertz, then this transducer here will also have, okay, as a frequency of 2000 kilohertz. So what we mainly can just, okay, say from this here is that for a continuous wave transducer, right? The frequency of that transducer is going to be equal to the frequency of the electrical signal. Is that clear? Is that clear, girls?
Yes, but so the
Yes. What about what comes after your butt? Yes, Shaq, you said it is clear, but then you go, but
sorry, I'm just trying to like piece it together in my mind. So the frequency and the electric. Okay, all right, I got it.
right, okay. Well, my dear, okay. Electrical energy, that's just a form of energy. It says, okay, electrical energy is also just, okay, traveling in waves. Okay. As a matter of fact, yes, okay, this would be as, okay, transverse waves and not longitudinal waves, but that's not the point here. The thing is that, okay, as when it comes and, okay, as travels through the PCT, these as, okay, the frequency of your electrical signal, it may as, okay, going to as, okay, cause, or you're going to just, okay, produce, as, okay, be converted into another form of energy. Now it's just going to just, okay, that other form of energy, it can be any form, it can be heat, it can be light, it can be whatever. Let's just say that, okay, it was sound here. Okay, that we still yes, okay, talk about sound waves, but mainly because this transducer doesn't have a backing material, or as a matter of fact, damping material. The vibration produced by each wave of sound as, okay, electrical signal is not going to be damped down. Which mainly mean that, okay, if it is hit by a frequency of, okay, 20,000 cycles per second, it is going to mainly as, okay, vibrate 20,000 times per second, which mainly cause that will produce a wave which is going to have a frequency of 20,000 cycles per second. That doesn't mean it's, okay, going to become, yes, okay, the frequency of this transducer here. Did that make sense?
Yes.
Right, okay. It may be as, okay, a sick example, but if somebody pushes you XYZ amount of times per minute or second or whatever, and here you say, well, okay, I don't have the backing material, I don't have the tolerance to forgive a lot of the times that, okay, I was being pushed. What is it that you're going to do? You're going to say, well, like I was pushed 20 times in a minute. Nobody came and, okay, gave me, and I said, okay, it's okay, cool down, forget about it. So you're going to say, no, I was pushed 20 times in a minute, I'm going to push somebody else in 20 times a minute. Okay, right? Because nobody told you, okay, cool down. cool down. Forget about it. It's okay. Or whatever. Did that make sense? So in that case, as okay, you are a continuous wave transducer, or non-imaging transducer, or therapeutic transducer. Clear? Okay. Did that make sense? Okay. So you can be bombarded with a lot of, okay, it's unnecessary data. In a question where they say, well, okay, this is the frequency of electrical signal. What will be the frequency of, okay, as this continuous wave transducer? And they may give you, okay, a whole bunch of, okay, other things. Okay, size of PCT, material that the PCT is made of, the wavelength, the this, the that, blah, 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 beep, beep, beep. Really not relevant. Because if a continuous wave transducer is hit by a frequency of 2 kilohertz, it's going to send a signal out, which is going to have a frequency of 2 kilohertz. So if a continuous wave transducer, the signal that is being, that it receives is going to, yes, okay. The frequency of the signal that it receives is going to be the frequency of the signal that it will transmit. Did that make sense? So for our continuous wave transducer, it was pretty much okay, very straightforward. Okay. But as I said, you can be bombarded with a lot of this, okay, unnecessary information. Just okay, so okay, now how do I calculate this? Okay. So just remember that, okay, yes, it is not necessary that you have to be giving us, okay, the word continuous wave. That continuous wave transducer can be explained in any way. They can say, okay, a transducer with no backing material. Okay. A non-pulsing transducer, or non-pulsing transducer. Or a narrow bandwidth transducer. You should already think, okay, narrow bandwidth, no back, it's okay. No backing material. No backing material, continuous wave. Did that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. Shaq, I'm not only talking to you, there are other girls. Did that make sense, girls? Okay, good. So don't say, Mike, this question didn't say continuous wave transducer. Well, okay, it did. If it's a non-pulse, the tidal wave transducer, yes, okay, then that's a continuous wave transducer. Okay. Good. So is there anybody who has any doubt? So we can immediately say, okay, just yes, okay, the frequency of this signal here is going to be equal to the frequency of this signal here. Why? There is no damping. Now goes, as I said earlier, other kind of transducers that we had was what we call, yes, okay, pulsed wave transducer. And what did we already say that a pulsed wave transducer had? It was going to be, yes, okay, that transducer which has backing material. Clear? Any questions? Okay. You could also refer to that as, okay, as that's an imaging transducer, because these are going to be transducers that are going to give us images. We talk more about these in chapter 12. Our goal is, okay, when it comes to, yes, okay, we can say, it's okay, determine the frequency of a pulsed wave transducer. There's actually, that's okay, going to be two factors that we need to look at. Now the first factor is going to be, yes, okay, we can say, okay, that's going to be, yes, okay, the speed of sound in the PZT. Clear. The second factor that we will be looking at is going to be, oops, sorry. And please keep in mind here, girls, that we say the thickness of the PCT. Okay. I'm not talking about the height of the PCT. I'm not talking about the width of the PCT. I'm talking about the thickness of the PCT. Clear? Okay, I explained these three different dimensions yesterday. Okay, so in a pulsed wave transducer, pulsed wave transducer, we can mainly say that, okay, yes, there are going to be two factors that will affect the frequency of the transducer. Okay. Now, first is going to be as okay the speed of sound in the PCT. Now, some of you will say, well, okay, wasn't we only talking about speed of sound in tissues? Yes, that was okay as it was traveling through the tissue. And was going to, okay, be a parameter of the sound wave. But if you look at it, girls, and okay, we said, okay, tissue, didn't we explain that as okay as being a, sorry, maybe I should being a medium? Yes, but your PCT is also a medium, mainly because okay, it is made up of some material, right? Okay, what was the standard material that we used to make our PZT? Well, okay, it was lead, zirconate, titanate. So that was a material that actually was put together and made up a material or a medium. And anything which has a material, or as a matter of fact, a matter or molecule or compound is going to be considered as as a medium, which will have its own speed. Clear? Okay. Now just comes the question. Now, maybe because your speed of sound, sorry, the frequency of your pulsed wave transducer is going to be affected by the factor of the speed of sound in the PCT. That mainly will mean that that there is going to be a relation between the frequency of your transducer and the speed of sound in the PCT, not the speed of sound in the medium or tissues. Clear? Okay. So this relationship here is straightforward. You can say frequency of our pulsed wave transducer. That is mainly going to be directly proportional to the speed of sound in the PCT. So let's say that if the PCT or if the crystal was made up of another material, which would have had as a different speed. That was going to affect the frequency. But straight out from this equation, from this relationship, we can mainly say a transducer in which the PCT has a greater speed, or in which, okay, the sound travels at a greater speed through the PCT, that is going to cause that this transducer here will have a greater frequency. Clear? Whereas if a transducer in which the sound speed in the PCT is lower, that will mainly mean that, okay, at that piece, at that transducer will have a lower frequency. But this only applies to your continuous, pulsed wave transducers. Is that clear, girls? So if it says, okay, high speed, that because says, okay, what happening? That's okay, as 20 meters per second. Because that's okay, they'll call a high frequency. Let's just say it's okay, 20 megahertz. Or vice versa, it's okay if the speed of sound in the PCT was low. Let's say it's okay, 10 meters per second. It could have been as okay, 10 megahertz. But what you mean says, okay, greater speed of sound in PCT, higher frequency of the pulsed wave transducer. Okay, lower speed of sound in the PCT, lower frequency of the pulsed wave transducer. Did you girls get that? Did you girls get that?
Yes.
Anybody who is still in doubt?
No.
Good. Now the second characteristic, girls, that was going to just okay determine, or we can say okay, play a role in determining, yes, okay, the frequency of a pulsed wave transducer was the thickness of the PCT. And when we say it's okay, we say that okay, if this here is okay, was your PCT, sorry. Right, okay. You could mainly say that, okay, yes, this dimension here is okay, that will be the thickness of PCT. Now, there was something that I mentioned yesterday, and maybe, yes, okay, you can use that as a cheat. Because what was it that we said? That, okay, yes, that the thickness of the PCT was equal to half the wavelength. Right? Where we can say as okay, we may have a transducer that is okay, may produce. Well, let's just choose a makeup. We can say as okay. Or have a cycle with is that clear? But no matter what, yes, okay, if you have a cycle, yes, okay, PCT or transducer which produce wavelength with a great wavelength, that's going to mainly be that, okay, yes, that because that PCT had a greater thickness, and or vice versa. Yeah. So thick PCT produces cycle with a great wavelength. Okay, so you can say, okay, we have, for instance, okay, a thick PCT produces a cycle with a great wavelength. You can say, okay, you have a thin PCT that is going to produce a cycle with a smaller wavelength. Right, okay. Okay, what is going to be the thickness of the PCT? Half your wavelength. Which here is okay. This size is going to either, yes, okay, be equal to, yes, okay, to the thickness of your PCT. Or we can say, yes, okay, this or this should be equal to, yes, okay, the thickness of the PCT. Now, what we also already know is that, okay, yes, this wavelength here don't we know that wavelength is inversely proportional to frequency? Or haven't we already, yes, okay, established that relationship back in the days? Or everybody forgot about that relationship? You girls confused? Didn't we establish that relationship back in the days?
Yes.
Good. Right, okay. So what does that mean now? No, you can mean it's okay, just copy and paste that. And say it's okay if we have a great wavelength because of a great thickness, that will mainly mean that this transducer here is going to have, okay, as a low frequency, right? Right? And or on the other hand, a transducer with, okay, as a smaller thickness is going to produce a sound wave with a smaller wavelength, which mainly will cause that it will have a greater frequency. Did that make sense?
Yes.
So what do we establish from that? How do you want to do it this way, or you just want to simply as okay memorize it in this way that okay as the thickness of the PCT is then going to be as okay, or we just can say as okay inversely proportional to the frequency. But which mainly will mean that okay, we can say it's okay that if we had a PCT which was, let's say, right here was no sorry, great thickness. Let's say 1 centimeter. It might produce as okay gray wavelength. As a matter of fact, is okay, the wavelength would be 2 centimeters. But due to as okay that great wavelength, we actually as okay will have a low frequency. Or vice versa, if we say okay, we had a thin PCT, a PCT which was, let's say, as okay, had a less thickness. It was, let's say, it's okay 1 millimeter thick. But that's mainly going to just okay produce a wave which is just going to be as okay have a wavelength of 2 millimeter. Which would be as okay compared to the yellow one up here is okay a less short wavelength. But that short wavelength, since the wavelength and frequency are inversely proportional, is going to just okay give us a high frequency transducer. Is that clear?
Yes.
Okay. Now comes the question. Which of these is ideal for diagnostic imaging? Because we say as okay, we have pulsed wave transducer, what we actually is okay want to achieve by using is okay a pulse wave transducer is to get an image. Right, okay. And okay, yes, we will get an image, whether we use a high frequency transducer or a low frequency transducer, as far as pulse wave. Clear? Okay. But the question mainly is, okay, what is the best? Okay, what is the best option to use for a diagnostic imaging? Okay. And the best option is going to be best for diagnostic imaging. Is high frequency transducer. Okay, how do we get that? Primarily as okay, it has to be a pulse wave transducer. How do we get a pulse wave transducer? As okay, we put some as okay backing material in the transducer. That's going to make it a pulse wave. But then we actually is okay use a material as the PCT, which has a great speed of sound. Yeah. And we actually is okay, we'll use as okay or slice the PCT material into reduced thickness of PCT. So narrower the PCT or thinner the PCT, and or yes, okay, greater speed of sound in the PCT, that will create a transducer with a higher frequency, which is ideal for diagnostic imaging. Yeah, okay. But just keep in mind, girls, good is good, but too much good is bad. Because what is it that a very high frequency transducer is going to lead to?
Better image.
Whereas a too high frequency, good was good, but then too much good is bad. So yes, okay, too high of a frequency, what is that going to lead to? Why didn't we have an infinite normal range of frequency?
You're not gonna get an image if the frequency is too high. It's not gonna be able to.
Or why? There's a reason why.
It's
There's
not
a
gonna be
reason
able
why.
to penetrate the body if the frequency is too high.
Okay. What causes it not to be able to penetrate the body? You're on the right track, Dr. Shack, but okay, it reduces penetration. Or why?
I don't think it's gonna reflect back to the transducer.
Well, okay, if it doesn't travel to the body, then how is it going to reflect back?
Is it gonna make a continuous wave? No.
Too much of attenuation, scattering.
Attenuation. Didn't we say that, okay, yes, good was good, but then too much good is bad. Too high of a frequency will cause attenuation. You can mean says, okay, the sound actually is okay, dies before it is able to, yes, okay, make its journey. Right. So that says, okay, you can say, okay, the negative side of your coin. Okay. And that's why as okay, we don't have okay indefinite frequencies of ultrasound transducers. And that's why it's okay, it had that normal range of 2 to 15 megahertz, right? That makes sense because at a frequency of more than 15 megahertz, that was going to just okay, mainly cause no penetration at all. Why? Mainly because of attenuation. Okay, girls. Now a continuous wave transducer, please do not have that misconception. It's just the waves that goes on continuously. Yes, okay, they will still be able to travel ahead. Okay, so just because they are continuous, the only reason that they become, yes, okay, a non-imaging is you don't have that off time. Because what was it that the off time was going to be used for? That pulse that was produced gets the time to go and come back. Okay, that's what happened in the off time. That's what happened in the listening time. That it got time to go and come back undisturbed. Because, okay, there was another sound wave that's, okay, coming in the wave path. They would interfere. So we call them therapeutic transducers. Right? Have any of you, okay, you have those things nowadays. It's okay, those small gadgets that, okay, as if you have, let's say, it's okay, an aching muscle or something that you put, and what does it do? Brrr, vibrates. What are those vibrations? Those are just as, okay, frequencies that are being, as, okay, transmitted to your muscle and mean, yes, okay, just massage it. But that's pretty much, okay, as how a therapeutic transducer work. You can actually, yes, okay, buy those gadgets on, yes, okay, Amazon or whatever websites. What is it that they do? Or just get anything that is, okay, produce some sort of vibration, and, okay, just place it and you will find clear. But then you can say, okay, how many times does it vibrate in a minute? That's going to be the frequency. But even that, in that case, you can say, okay, do I want it to continuously go on, or do I want it to just go on in pulses? But just because we say a continuous wave transducer doesn't mean that, okay, this is not going to be able to just, okay, make the sound wave, yes, okay, penetrate. They will penetrate. The thing is that it just goes on continuously. It doesn't take a break. Whereas, okay, when you say pulsed, speaks, then it's shut. Speaks, then it's shut. That's what makes it a pulse. Any questions? So what would be recommended now? It's just, okay, we didn't do much today. Like, okay, it's just 3, 4, 5 pages, and you probably, yes, okay, have been given the time in the middle, yes, okay, look at it. Okay. Now you can write, okay, yes, notes of, okay, yes, pages and pages and pages and pages, but for your revision, or your revision of, yes, okay, what you can call it, okay, or index cards or something that you can put on your refrigerators to look at. Me just say that, okay, yes, for a pulsed wave transducer, which is an imaging transducer, which is so and so and so and so and so. The frequency is going to be directly proportional to speed of sound in PZT. and is going to be as okay inversely proportional to the thickness of PCC. There, okay, why is it that, okay, as a high frequency transducer is ideal for diagnostic imaging? The actual details of that will come in chapter 10. But I somehow already said it. Because this high frequency here is going to be, yes, okay, mean that we have a low wavelength. Yes, girls. So slowly, just yes, okay, randomly look back and see, yes, okay, some of the older chapters. And already start your revisions. Yeah. So yes, look at the relationship between frequency and attenuation. Any last questions, girls?
Sir, do you know on back of your hand the chapters that will be on the next quiz?
Huh?
The chapters that will be on the next quiz.
You will have chapter 6, chapter 7, chapter 8. But just because you have a quiz coming up next week doesn't mean that, okay, as we are going to be on a standby. You can still ask me, Mike, okay, as I still didn't get this. I read it 3 times and it's still not sinking in. Can you try to explain it over again? Yes, okay, I don't mind. Okay, I don't mind answer the question. That's okay, go over everything again to explain it. Okay. Because, okay, I know every time you look at this book, you say, okay, I didn't realize this in the first time I read it. Maybe you did, or maybe you just didn't took it that seriously. Yeah, so when I say, okay, this is going to come up again. I know that because I've written this book here, read this book for almost like 50 times now, so I'm fed up with it. Right, okay. So, but still, yes, okay, every time I look into it, yes, okay, oh, that's something new. Well, it's not new, it was already there. But I still not had thought about it in that way. Okay, girls? So, yes, okay. So tomorrow, yes, okay, what we will do is, okay, we can actually, yes, okay, go and look at the questions at the end of the chapter. And we can look at, okay, as the questions in the exam review. And by doing answering those questions together, yes, okay, see if we still can, okay, yes, reinforce our concepts by answering questions. I say, okay, look, this is what the questions are going to be like. This is how we figure out the answers. Okay, that's pretty much about it. Does that sound like a plan? Goody girls, then I see you ladies tomorrow and have fun till then.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Yep.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Goodbye.